Now, more good news for Donald Trump, and even NBC couldn't hide the truth behind this data. The last time so many Americans thought the country was headed in the right direction was more than 20 years ago.
First of all, the mood of the country, this really jumped out. We asked folks, is it on the right direction or the wrong direction? That 44% you say right direction, that's up since November. And if that doesn't seem like a lot, the last time it cracked 40%, you got to go back to 2012. The last time it actually hit 44 or higher, January of 2004.
Joining me now is comedian and host of Primetime with Alex Stein on Blaze TV. Alex, this data is good news for Donald Trump. It looks like a low figure, 44%, but as you just heard there, it's been 21 years since Americans were so positive about the direction that country is headed in.
Well, Rita, I mean, I'm sure you can tell from Australia that we had a country with no hope. I mean, it was like a car with 4 flat tires. And now with Donald Trump as president, it's like we have a rocket engine. We're literally saving astronauts. So it's just the whole outlook for our country is much more positive now that we actually have a president that is, you know, coherent and making decisions that are in our country's best interest instead of having an actual puppet or, you know, for lack of a better word, just a walking corpse, sadly.
Let's hear now from Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick on what is the end goal of Trump's economic reforms.
$2 trillion deficits don't bother you at all. How could you ask me, while we're running a $2 trillion deficit, and not care? You're destroying the people who have run this country before, are destroying the future for my children and my children's children. And when we balance the budget, you know what that means? That means our deficits stop. Interest rates come smashing down. How about no tax on tips? How about no tax on overtime? How about no Social Security? How about all those things? These are the kind of thoughts that will change America. I know what his goal is. No tax for anybody who makes less than $150,000 a year. That's his goal. And that's what I'm working for.
Alex, that's the first time I've heard that the end goal is no tax for anybody who's earning less than $150,000. He also made the point there that the US is the biggest consumer in the world, and it's time that they use that buying power to their advantage, to the advantage of American workers. And all of that must be music to the ears of American voters.
Oh, 100%, Rita, because now, listen, you look at our country, it's not the Americans' fault that our economy is the way that it is, or our national debt is the way that it is. It's the fact that we have multinational corporations that can take advantage of us. They can use cheap labor in China, basically slave labor. And so the reason is the rules are not fair for these multinational corporations, and Donald Trump will actually create a system that holds these companies and these other countries accountable, and they'll have to pay their fair share. And that's why Donald Trump is going to be such a great president, because he's going to actually help us Americans be able to buy more, be able to finally afford a home, and actually make our middle class bigger instead of what Biden has done for the past, 4 years, making it much, much smaller.